the Lord has done for me.
All right, girl, stop. Wait a minute. Hold up. Wait a minute.
Now,
I gotta go live.
Come on.
Stop.
We already live. What are you talking about?
Hold up. Wait a minute. I gotta go live.
We already live. What are you talking about?
Hold up. Wait a minute. I gotta go live. Oh
Facebook,
my goodness. My goodness. Oh
We're
my
live.
goodness. Yeah, we're live
Yes, ma'am.
now. Now I need
Yes,
to
and
make sure that I am recording to the cloud. Uh, welcome everyone to Porch Talk Live Worldwide. We was just our theme today is it's a girls thing, okay? And we are just kind of talking about just people in general. And you know what, Fabulous Camille, this is kind of like what we were talking about on the phone just a little bit earlier, okay? So we're gonna switch for a second, and then we're actually gonna go back to the original talk, and that is a good friend indeed. Okay. So we were talking this morning about the people in our lives, whether they're friends, family, our extended family, loved ones, whatever you want to call them, and how people tend to call on us all the time for things, okay? But not only do they call on us to do things for them, they don't really care anything about us. Thing of it is that we're so busy taking care of everyone around us that when our time comes and we need someone, then who do we call? Who do we look to in order to make sure that we're taken care of? And that's a serious issue, whether it's with your friends, whether it's in the family. It really doesn't make a difference. The thing of it is that we all have to have someone that cares enough about us that when we call, they're willing to drop what they're doing and come to our rescue. Why? Because we're always rescuing someone else. And it's a sad, sad case when you don't have not one person that you can call on. So I was sharing with the fabulous Camille. But let me say this before I get started, because I have not introduced anybody. I'm really into this topic. So we have the fabulous Camille Robb with us. She's just getting home from the car repair shop. So, I'm all about, regardless of what you see, whether we have to answer the phone, we got to stop, answer the door, what have you. Hey, you know what? This is real life, okay, that's going on. And then we have the wonderful Glenda Morris with us. And I'm so happy to have her beaming smile with us today. Okay, so I met Glenda on a mission trip to Jamaica. And, there's not a lot of people that you really, really click with or you really get to know. And I don't think you have to know them 100% to say that, hey, we click, okay? And they don't have to be my immediate friend to say that we click together. We just have to have them the same mindset and we think the same identical way about some things. I love people. I love God. And I love the people that I call friend, okay? And it's just that simple. But before I go on with our conversation, I'm gonna let Glenda say hello to us and anything else that she want to say before we actually get into the show. Because y'all know me, I get started and I can't stop.
Well, I thank you so much, Pastor Dorothy, for inviting me here, as you alluded to, that we met in Jamaica, and that was a very interesting trip that we met on. Of course, I've met you on on shows, on different, the Porch Talk and different shows hosted by fabulous Camille. But just to physically meet you and to sit down and have a dialogue with you, we share that we had common interest. And so I'm excited. I'm really excited that you have extended an invitation to me today to come here. But as I was listening to your topic, I'm intrigued by that topic because I've always believed in that to be blessed, you need people, but also to be cursed, you need people. God blesses us through people, and the devil attacks us through people. And so where do you go? Because you're at most times you're in the middle of those situations. And speaking of people approaching for help and different things like that, as I listened to you, I was really touched by that because, you know, there's something recently I've been using this word that life is always lifing. And I don't know if it's a real word, and I don't know if it has gotten to Webster, but life is always lifing because without adversities, we will never be strong. This is where our innermost person is built, because anyone can tear down the exterior, but they cannot and should not be able to affect the inside, the interior, because that's where your dexterity should be. Because God says that He lives on the inside of us. He has sent His Holy Spirit to dwell amongst us and to dwell inside of us. So those that believe in the anointing and the Holy Spirit, that God is our Father, then you understand that they can touch the outside, but they cannot touch the inside. Because God says, man look on the outward appearance, but God, He looks on the heart. And what I'm trying to say here today is you're gonna always have haters and you're gonna always have blessers. And we have to be able to follow our intuition, which is, some people say intuition, some people say your spirit, some people they refer to it in different ways because you some people can't really understand what it is that gives us the inclination to do and don't do. However, when people a lot of times approaches us, we have to be able to hear from our innermost spirit, because God is always talking to us. It's whether or not we decide to listen. It's whether or not we decide to follow the command. He's always talking to us. And it's not everyone that say hello, we need to say hello back to, because a lot of people won't wait for life to life their way. They just want to reach out to anyone and everyone for you to help them. But a lot of times God wants to take them through adversity. God wants to build the inner man. God wants to build the inner spirit. God wants them to realize that I am who I am. But if we keep being refuge for others and running to them, then they will never understand that life is lifing. They'll figure it out, because if they know how to get on their knees or even how to call to their Father, they'll get the answer just like we get the answer. But we must be used by God to bless others, not by the devil to be distracted by others. Thank you for having me. I'm sorry. I think I went over time and I just got all into it. Please forgive me.
Not at all. Not at all. You know, the one thing about Porch Talk Live platform is that nothing is off the table. We talk about everything. Okay. We get serious. We have a little fun, you know, and the main thing is we're speaking to people that need to be touched in some sort of way, whether it's in their personal life, business life, or spiritual life. Okay. So I am definitely all about letting people know that there is a reality in serving a true and a living God. Now I stand on that. I stand on that. If you don't, that's fine. Don't write me, don't text me. I don't want to hear from you. You know, you do what you do, and Pastor Dorothy gonna do what she do over here, okay? Now, if you come in and you ask me, I'm gonna tell you all about the God I serve. But if you don't ask me, if you don't push it, guess what? I don't want you pushing what your beliefs are on me. Okay. So we're good with that one. So we are going to give our co-host, the fabulous Camille, a chance to say something, and then we're going to proceed on with the show. A good friend indeed. Okay.
Hello, hello, hello. And I am so excited to have Miss Glenda Morris on. I've known Miss Glenda Morris for quite a long time, and she's all about being a true friend. All about being a true friend. I'm telling you, I have a lot of respect for her because we put it like this: we've been to hell and back, and the devil said, "Don't come back." Just gonna leave it right there. Right there. We've been to hell and back, and the devil told us not to come back. And I told him there's no space for me anyway, so I ain't coming back.
All right. All
We
right.
have learned and grown together. And today it's amazing to actually have her on the show. Thank you for coming, Miss Morris. I appreciate that.
All
Appreciate
righty. All right, so we're gonna get on with the show. To stay on target and not mess up, I gotta write it all out. If I don't write it out, I'd be gone on off into la la land somewhere. So let me tell you this here. On Porch Talk today, we are talking about the magic of friendship and the joy of shared adventures, reminding us that no matter where life takes us, true friends will always be by our side, ready to laugh, to love, and to live life with us to the fullest. Okay. And I love that because it's so a true friend. It's not like maybe we won't get disappointed with each other or get mad with each other, but we never fall out of love with each other. Okay.
Right.
We can still disagree to disagree and then come back together for each other. So I want to kind of read a little story that I typed up about these four women. So these four women are called Ruby, Rose, Riley, and Ruth, the Fantastic Four. They're a delightful and harmonious group of fabulous friends coming together on the porch. Because remember, this is Porch Talk Live, okay? All right. So, once upon a time, in the vast expansion of cyberspace, four kindred spirits, Ruby, Rose, Riley, and Ruth, found themselves drawn together by the invincible thread of faith and friendship. Their story began on a chilly winter night as each of them sat alone in their prospective home, seeking connections in the virtual world. Little did they know that their lives were about to change forever. Ruby, a gentle soul with a heart of gold, stumbled upon a Facebook group dedicated to discussing their favorite book. Intrigued by the lively conversation and shared enthusiasm, she decided to join the group and share her own love of literature. Ruby, a spirited adventurer with a mischievous twinkle in her eye, was the first to respond to Ruby's post. And with a witty remark and infectious laughter, she quickly captured Ruby's attention and sparkled a friendship that would transcend time and distance. So, as I'm reading, I want you to step into this picture. Tell me if in any way you can relate to maybe one of the Fantastic Four, or if you know someone that can actually resonate with this. So Rose, a compassionate soul with a deep love for God and community, soon joined the conversation, adding her own insight and wisdom to the mix. Her gentle spirit and unwavering faith resonated with Ruth and Ruby, forging a bond that felt like coming home. And then there was Riley, a free-spirited dreamer with a passion for life and a heart as big as the sky. With her infectious optimism and boundless enthusiasm, she completed the quartet, bringing a sense of joy and adventure to their newfound friendship. As the week turned into months, the Fabulous Four exchanged countless messages, sharing their hope, dreams, fear, and aspirations with each other. They laughed together, cried together, and supported each other through the ups and downs of life. And so it came to pass that one sunny afternoon, the Fabulous Four made a pact to meet in person for the first time. Despite living in different corners of the world, they were determined to come together and celebrate the bonds that brought them together. And so it was on a warm summer day that Ruby, Rose, Riley, and Ruth found themselves gathered on Riley's porch, surrounded by the gentle hum of succindas and the sweet scent of blooming flowers. With tears of joy in their eyes and laughter in their hearts, they embraced each other with long lost sisters, grateful for the gift of friendship that had brought them together. As they sat together on Riley's porch, bathed in the warmth of the sun and the glowing of the friendship, they knew that they were exactly where they were meant to be, surrounded by the love and support of their chosen family, their kindred spirits, their forever friends. And in the moment, they realized that the most beautiful friendships are often found in the most unexpected of places, and that true connection knows no bound. This heartwarming story celebrates the power of friendship and the joy of finding kindred spirits in unexpected places. It reminds us that true friends are the ones who lift us up, support us, and fill our lives with love and laughter, no matter where life takes us. And that is the end of our story. Now, that is the beginning. If we say we go back to the beginning, where it all started, that is where it all started. Now, that brings me over to friendship. Now, I mean, I have written quite a bit about friendships and coming together and doing different things and being a part of something. And no one should ever say, well, you know what, I don't have any friends to do anything with. I can't find any friends. Yeah, I believe that if you show yourself friendly, that you will definitely find friends. Now, I'm going to get into sharing some parts of this story with us, but I'm going to see if Miss Glenda Morris took any notes, if she has any feedback that she might want to give us about this story that I just shared.
Oh, that's an amazing story. Yeah, I listened to it and I thought about um, confidants. I thought about we don't have to have a whole lot of friends, um, but what we need to have is a few confidants. And in that story, the meat of that story to me is how to support, how to support friendship. When I think of Fabulous Camille and myself, during the years, over the years, we have learned that family doesn't have to be biological.
Mm.
Family can be people that were placed in your life with integrity, that you have grown to love, respect, and become confidant to each other. And that's, to me, what friendship is about. And that's, your story alluded to that. Um, don't always have to talk with the individual every day. But
Right.
yes, you do know that when you come together, you know the love that supersedes the everyday talk, because you know in your heart of heart that you love each other, that you adore each other, that you have each other's back. And in a twinkle of an eye, if that person calls on you, you're there to support them. And that's what true friendship that matures into family means to me. And that's what I heard in your story.
All right, all right, all right, all right. I tell you, I believe that that's kind of like what happened with me and Fabulous Camille. We actually met online, okay? And now we're doing mission trips together, and we talk and share things with each other. There's a couple of more women that have actually joined into this crowd. I can't wait to when all of us can get together. And Glenda, you know Melissa, but you haven't met Apostle Rockamore. Okay,
Yeah,
she's another something. Okay.
I'm surprised she's not up on here today.
Yeah. Yeah. Remember she's in school. She started nursing
Oh
school.
yeah, she's captured. Yep, school got
Yeah.
her attention.
Yeah, school's got her attention. So me, myself, and I want to know if you can put it in the comment section, and that is, where do you believe that you can find a good friend? Uh,
Mm,
to me, can you find a good friend in church? And some people say, well, no, they're hypocrites or what have you. Well, everybody ain't a hypocrite, okay?
right.
Everybody ain't out to get you, okay? But if you got that mindset, then
Then
guess
that's
you'll never, never find a friend. Can
mhm,
you find a friend online? Sure, you can. You can find some good ones and you can find some bad ones, okay? The thing of it is how friendly do you want to be with somebody? Okay.
mhm,
Hmm.
Are we talking about just somebody that every now and then you call on the phone and you talk to them that you met on the internet? Is it somebody that maybe you're in the same town? We have millions and billions of people in the same town that we're in, city, whatever you want to call it, and yet we still say, "Man, I don't have no friends." Well, come on now, you got what, 5,000 people that you can have on Facebook in the Facebook profile, and out of 5,000 people, you can't find a friend there, nobody to talk to, nobody is saying what you're saying, nobody's thinking what you're thinking. We got a problem when it comes to that. What do you say about that, Fabulous?
You see, a lot of people, when it comes to friendship, they think friendship is something that, you have to talk to that person every day. You have to see that person. You have to communicate with that person. And I don't see it that way. You know, for me, friendship is something that you build together. It's a together moment. You know, I sometimes it past 6, 7 months, I haven't seen Miss Glenda, but guess what? That phone call come in and she called me, "What's up, sis? How you doing? Everything good? How is everyone?" And I'm like, it's like we never lost any moment in time. And when she comes and visit and I go and visit, it's like we start from where we left off.
right.
A friendship should be real. You shouldn't it not because I do something for you, you're my friend, or not because you have something. No, it's supposed to come from the heart. It's supposed to be genuine. And that's the kind of relationship I found with I call her diva. That's what that's that's the relationship we have built. And the relationship we have built have taken us to places where you can even imagine. And now we have the opportunity to travel together with with our nonprofit and be able to share our lives with each other and share and help other people. To me, that's priceless. And then when you came into my life, Pastor Dorothy, it was like a blessing in disguise because it wasn't it wasn't that it wasn't for you and I to be friends. It was for somebody else that it was set up to be a friend. But you came more genuine than anything else because you came with your heart wide open without even asking me about what I want or what it was like, okay, how can we work together and help each other? That was it. That's how I see a friendship. I don't have to be, and when it comes to relationship and family, you don't have to be by blood. I look at Glenda as my big sister, you know, because if I need something and I call her, no matter where I'm at in the world, she will come and get me.
Yeah, you better know.
Okay? She will come and get me. If anything happened, my husband can call and said, "Hey, G, this is where your sister at. Okay, let's go get her." You see, that is a friendship, a relationship, and we have built this thing together for years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's great. That's great. And that's what it's all about. Because I think about Stacy Paley. Stacy Paley, when I started the podcast, was my first co-host. Okay. Since then, she's gotten a job and she's on mountain time. So she's like 2 hours ahead of us. So she can't be with us anymore. But Stacy was with me for over 2 years. And then we met the fabulous Camille, and she joined in on the team. And, I just believe, and I'm sorry for you guys that don't want to hear about God. Just stick your fingers in your ear for a second, okay? I just believe that God knows what's going to happen way before we knew what was going to happen. By the time the fabulous Camille joined in on the podcast and we got it up and running and everything, that's when Stacy got a new job. She was freelancing, but she actually got a regular 9 to 5 that took her away from the show. And I didn't have to worry about being by myself because God had brought the fabulous Camille and we were working together. So Stacy would drop in whenever she could, but it got to a point where her time was required more on the job. And you folks know that have ever had a 9 to 5, what that's all about.
Mhm.
But here's my question to you. And I want to say hello to Pastor Stevens because he joined us on Facebook as well. So look, I'm always glad when people come in and say hello because I know your time is precious. So coming in, dropping in, and having a little time with us it's priceless. It's priceless. I can't even put a cost on it. So one of the things I want to always do is because I do a TV show and that TV show runs like 30 minutes. This podcast runs an hour. So I have to put a stop and go in between. So when I send it out, so it can be broadcast on the TV show, they know exactly where to cut it at. So this is the cutting point.
Okay.
So now we're rolling into part 2, okay? But before we go any further, one of the things I want to do is I kind of wrote some little jokes. And these are things that happen to us all the time. Now, this one is about the cell phone, and I know you guys know about the cell phone, okay? So I said, it's something humorous when friends have something in common that they can experience using the very thing that can invoke laughter and lighthearted teasing moments amongst friends. So here is the joke story, okay? Sparkling laughter and camaraderie among friends as they bond over shared experience of forgetfulness and the joy of discovering the obvious that's right in front of them. So here we go. The quest of the missing cell phone. Okay. I need to call my friend, but I can't find my cell phone anywhere. I swear I just had it. My girlfriend asked me, what did she ask me? Did you check your purse? You always toss it in places that you don't even think to go back and look at.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe my third friend says, it's on the table where you left it at earlier. Did you look there? Do you know how absent-minded you can be sometimes when you're thinking about more than one thing? Hold on, the fourth friend says. Isn't that your cell phone in your hand? You're literally taking it on every place you go. Right now, I see it in your hand.
Oh gosh.
So, how many times have you lost your cell phone and it was right there? Look, I have been on my cell phone talking.
Looking
And
for it.
somebody asked me for a telephone number, and I started looking for myself. Oh my God. Oh my God. Just how funny that can be. I don't know if you guys do that, but hey, I
It had happened. It had.
Oh, I've done it.
Oh, I don't see your face anymore, G.
and then I have to laugh at myself, okay, when I do stuff like that. And it's because we're really trying to do too many things at one time. I know Mr. Rob is in the background somewhere, and I know he probably done the same identical
Oh,
thing.
yes, he have. He's
Yeah.
right there. You know, he's right next to me all the time. Of course he does. He come out looking for his cell phone and his glasses sitting on his head.
I know I do. Look, I do the same identical thing. All right, so here's another funny one, and then we're going to proceed with the show. All right. So this is the mystery of the vanishing keys. Okay. So fabulous. You got the mark where the fabulous vanity keys are? You got your paperwork pulled up? No? If you don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. So this is what the first friend says. I swear I just had my keys a minute ago. Now they're nowhere to be found. The second friend says, maybe you left them in the car again. You know how forgetful you can be. Wait a minute. That brings me to a story I remember. I drove to the fish market, right? Went in, picked my fish. They fried my fish. I came back to the car. The doggone car was running. Oh my God. I got out of the car, left the car running with the keys inside. If I had come back and I hadn't had a car, oh my God, it would have been traumatic for me. Don't ask me what I was, I know what I was thinking. Usually my husband is with me on the other side sitting. So all I got to do is just get out of the car and go do what I don't know. Well, you know, my husband Pat. So I don't know if I physically felt his presence in the seat next to me. And that's why I jumped out. But now, you know what? I carry a second set of keys in my pocket just in case. I don't want that to happen no more. I just had to share that story with you. Your friend says, or maybe they're in your purse. You tend to toss them in there without thinking. The fourth friend says, hang on a second. Aren't those your keys dangling from your fingers? Whoops. Looked like they were right in front of me all along. It's something. It is something else. Now I know you guys, you know, you don't do stuff like that. You never got out of the car, locked the keys in the car. You never went into the house and lost the keys. Now I keep my keys in one place now. So I'm house keys, car keys, so I always know where to go get them at. So I won't tell you why one day I was looking for the keys, I couldn't find them anywhere. And I'm like, okay, retrace your steps. Guess what I had did? I was in the drawer. I opened the drawer. Don't ask me why I put the keys in the drawer, but they were in the drawer. Jeez, Luis, I'm telling you.
Mr. Rob put the keys in the refrigerator. Oh
Ooh.
yeah, it was funny because we were getting ready to drive to Miami, and he said, "Okay, I did you get the water?" I said, "I have the water. Everything is good. I have everything ready." And he said, "Okay, well, let's go, let's go, let's go. I want to get there before the event starts, so then we can relax and we can get something to eat." I said, "Okay, no problem." So I said to him, "All right, I'm ready." And he's like, "Where did you put the keys?" I said, "You had the keys." He said, "No, I didn't have." I said, "Yes, you did. You had the keys." So the cup that he had with the juice in it, he took the cup and the keys and put it in the refrigerator. And it took us about 30 minutes.
Oh
And
my
we were looking
God.
and looking and looking. And I said to him, I said, "Okay, that was the last place you had the keys, Rob." He said, on the counter. I said, "What was the last thing you were doing before you had the keys?" He said, "I just poured some juice, but I didn't finish the juice." And I opened the refrigerator, the keys sitting right next to,
Oh,
and he looked at
wow.
me and he said, "Why did you do that?" Like,
Why did
hey,
you do that?
he always blame me for stuff anyway. That's just his nature.
What about you, Miss Glenda? Ever misplace anything and it took you all day long to find it, or you didn't find it?
Well, I would say I have misplaced things, but the funniest thing that comes to mind was my sister and I went out. We went out to dinner, and from there we, went on to do other things, and we were gone for about maybe 3 hours. And when we came back out to the car, I'm seeing the door ajar, and I'm saying that can't be my car. The door is wide open. And I say, whose car is that? She said, it's your car. I said, well, you left my car door open? Look at that door was open for 3.5 hours
Oh,
long.
wow.
Okay. She said, oh, I forgot. She didn't
Yeah.
even realize that she had left the door open.
Oh,
I'm like,
God.
oh, that I could, certain things happen to you and it leaves like an indelible marker, on your brain. You never can forget it. That situation, I never can forget coming out and seeing my car door ajar. Yeah. So,
Look, every time I get out of the car, I look at my hand to make sure them keys is in my hand. Okay. So I don't lock the keys in the car or nothing like that. But oh man, that is just so strange. So let's get back to, since I've shared a few jokes with you, let's get back to friendship. And let's talk about how you can actually break an unbreakable bond amongst friends.
Mm, mm,
Now, that's a hard one. For me, it's you turning into a bully.
mhm,
And you can find them whether you're a child or whether you're an adult, it doesn't make a difference. There's always someone that is, they've got other ideas for your life or what you should be doing, or they're
mhm,
trying to tell you what you need to do. You don't need to tell me how to live my life. If you've got some suggestions or something that you want to um, give me, that I'm more than willing to listen. Hey girl, what do you think about this idea? I mean, and a lot of times it's just the way that you put it. Have you ever got a text and it was a mean text, but they didn't
uh-huh.
They didn't
Yes.
cuss in it or anything. It was just the wording of how they texted to you, or somebody was talking to you, and it might have been constructive criticism, but it was the way they brought it across to you. Now, this can really
Mhm.
break a friendship. But not
Yeah.
only that, something else that will break a friendship, and then we're gonna see what Glenda and the fabulous Camille has to say, is when you're the only one that's feeding the friendship.
Mm.
Mm.
When you're feeding the friendship and nobody else is. And what I mean by that is maybe I call you up and say, hey girl, let's go out to lunch, okay? And me, now I say, hey, look, I'm paying. Or I say, hey girl, you got money for lunch? Okay, you want to pay today or you want to split the tab? I'm sorry. Okay, that's just me now. Okay, but friendship has taught me this, that we need to have a good understanding of what we don't need to go out. And just because I told you, and wait a minute, what about these people that go
Uh-oh.
out to lunch and always, when they're paying, they order a hot dog, but when you invite them out, they order a steak? What is that all about?
About.
Uh-huh. Oh,
So
I just experienced that too. Go ahead.
I
Go
was
ahead, Glenda.
I would like to say there are three reasons on in my own belief. There are three reasons why a friendship can be broken. One is respect.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
When people has lost respect, not only for you, but also for the relationship. That's a
Mm-hmm.
heavy one because that is when dictatorship comes into place. This is when they will want to dictate to you what to do and how to do it.
mm,
When people have lost respect, they could be life could be lifing and they're in their community. But because the respect has been broken, what happens now is whatever they're going through, they don't separate it from their communication with you.
mm,
They just arbitrarily think that you should understand what they're going through, and they will just throw it on you. Their mannerisms change, the way they say it, whether it's in text or verbally, that changes because the respect has been tampered with. The next thing I would like to say is the presentation. The
Mm-hmm.
presentation, how things are presented, how they feel about you, that they present to you in a just kind of way that they feel that they can present things to you and no longer understand that these are both adults and that when you present, you must go back to understand that this person is also in a community that they're also going through what life is presenting to them. It's not just you, it's two. And if you consider the two, then you'll present to them with respect. The most important one for me, though, is trust. When trust is broken or
Mm-hmm.
tampered with, then everything else
Yes,
goes
down.
down the tube.
wow. Wow.
And that
I,
is so true. That is so true. It's 100% true because I remember a friend of mine, she was, I tell you, I had her back, she had mine. But somehow she got involved with another friend, and the friend kept saying, why you always talking about her all the time? And she
mm,
said something to me that messed up our friendship because in confident, I spoke to you about something. I'm expecting it to stay with you. And when I heard it back from her friend that she claimed that don't like me. It blew my
Oh,
mind. I was like, I didn't even talk to my husband about it. I talked to you as a friend, and you turn around and told her, and she looked at me and said, I didn't do that. I said, so who else? Who else said that? Who else did that? If it wasn't you, who else? Because nobody else knew what I told you.
wow,
Nobody. I didn't see, I
wow.
didn't even get a chance. She was at the moment when it happened, she was the person there. And you wanted to talk to somebody. And like this is my friend, my diehard friend that no matter what happened, I got her covered. And she turned around and went into, I'm like, what were you thinking? I said, oh, no, it's past and gone, but I can't trust you anymore. She
Yeah,
wrote letters and apologizing and had her friend to write letter to apologize to me and tell me that it didn't happen that way. I said, it's too late, baby. If I'm
wow.
going to trust you with if anything happened to me, you have the trust of my children, and you're going to turn around and stab me not even in my back, in my face. No,
Yeah,
you can have me for a lifetime. But when that trust is broken, we're done. It's not no redo over. No, it's like me taking drugs and say, okay, I'm gonna take this poison and I'm gonna kill myself. I'm gonna come back down. Once
yeah.
you poison me, it's done.
Wow, wow,
That's it.
wow, wow,
Well,
wow.
Pastor Dorothy, I had a memory here of a situation, and and we just want to be transparent here,
Yes.
and keep it real here on this show. Um, I have a childhood friend. I have to say we were probably about 15 or 14 when we became friends, and we shared a lot of childhood days together and times together, and we still friends. However, I won't forget when I went to visit her in Europe, and when I got there, I don't know what happened. My credit card didn't work. So I was in Europe. We were in London and we were supposed to go to Paris, and my cards are not working. I guess I didn't do my homework. However, she wrote a text to a friend of hers and said she's having money problems and I'm staying quiet because I'm not getting involved. Now, when I tell you that you have guiding angels,
Yeah,
when I tell you that you have guardian angels, believe me when I tell you that, because I don't even know how that text came to my face. But my daughter was with me and we sent her to get food at a restaurant. And she was parking the car and she said to me, take my phone and call your daughter, let her know where we are. When I took the phone from her, that was the text message on the phone.
uh,
I said, OMG, really? I said nothing to her. I just did what she told me to do, which was to call my daughter. After I completely read the text, I called my daughter, did what she told me to do. And I thought about that overnight. And the following day, we were supposed to go to Paris. I made sure I called a good friend of mine back in the States and says, look, something is wrong with my car. They're frozen. I can't use them, but I need to go to Paris. My friend gave me her card number and says, use it. Do what you got to do. So I turned around and paid for her to go to Paris with us with my friend's card.
wow.
I say, my name is good. It's golden. And here at that point, I brought it to her, the surface. I said, I don't want to hold this in my heart because we're friends and we've been friends far too long. But I did see the text you wrote to your friend about me. And I don't
Wow.
appreciate that. You should really not do that. You should have spoken to me about that.
Wow.
Long story short, why am I bringing this up? We're still friends. A lot of times the value that is placed on the relationship causes you to forego some things that could have transpired throughout the relationship.
Mhm.
You know, a lot of times people do things and say things, and you can't control what they do or say. But what we have to learn as individuals is how to meet people where they are, how to not impose upon people or friends to be or say things the way we would like it. It is important that because with the value that is placed on the relationship, we as friends and sisters are able to communicate the issue, accept forgiveness, and be able to move forward. Um, because my belief is I've done so many things in my life that I have asked forgiveness for, and no one is God. But I have asked forgiveness for a lot of things that I've done. And what if I didn't get forgiven? Where would I be today? What would I be going through today? And a lot of times you have to weigh the pros and cons. Why was this done? Or even why it was said, and be able to open up that vault of forgiveness and don't ruin the relationship because of one issue or one incident or one situation, but be able to forgive and move on, give someone a second chance.
Absolutely. Well, we are winding up on the hour, so I'm going to give you a chance to comment, Fabulous, and I guess I will close it out.
Well, the reason why I love having this conversation because we have so many people that take friendship for granted and not knowing that if you have someone you could trust, someone who you could relate to, it don't have to be around you all the time. That's the key. For me, I've had real friends and I've had friends that pretend to be real. And I always ask God, let me see through the eyes of the ones you brought to me. Let me see what they see in me. I'm not perfect, you know. I'm never telling anybody that I'm perfect. But when you have me as a friend, you have somebody for life. That's
Yeah.
what you have. When you have me as a friend, you have me for life.
Oh,
Just
wow.
don't hurt me. Just don't hurt me. Because if you hurt me, I'll forgive you. I'll forgive myself, but I'm going to leave it right there. I'm not going to allow you to come close enough to me to hurt me again.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Because
Wow.
I've been there, done that, and it's not a nice feeling.
Then we ain't doing that one no more.
Uh-uh. You ain't got to hurt me more than one time. I'll forgive you.
Yeah.
But one thing I'm not God. I'm not Jesus, so I'm not going to forget. I'm telling you, forgive and forget. Nah, I don't believe in that. I'm so sorry. So whoever going to make a comment on what I just said, go ahead. I believe in forgiving myself. I'll forgive you, but I'll never forget because I've done that forgive and forget stuff and it turn around and bite me back again. I'm not doing that. No,
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
no.
Well,
Mhm.
something. That is something. Um, I don't have a comment on that one. You got me on that one. So, but here's something. I wanna, before we close, I wanna give you some pros to friendship, and then I'm gonna give you some of the cons, and we're gonna close it out. So some of the pros to friendship is friendship provides a source of emotional support. It gives you someone to share your joy and celebrations with. It offers you companionship, okay? And it also gives you an opportunity to have someone to share activities with, to go and do things with. We get a chance to learn different perspectives of life. How I'm thinking and how you're thinking can be totally different, but we can come up with the same conclusion. Encourage self-growth, okay, in one another. It helps us to build trust and loyalty, all right? And it gives us a sense of belonging to something, okay, or someone. Now, the cons to all of that, and that's something that we basically have to get past, and that's disagreements and conflicts can arise. That's something that Glenda was talking about. Possibilities of betrayal or trust issue. That's something that Fabulous Camille was talking about. And they don't have this list that I'm talking about. Nobody's got it but me. But we're hitting on the same thing. Time consuming. It could require more effort than you want to give. Potential misunderstandings because of no communication. The possibility of outgrowing the friendship. That's something else that Glenda talked about. The friendship could be emotionally draining. And what I mean by that, I've got a few friends, I love them dearly, but every time I get them on the phone, they got a drag out way they answer the phone. I can't deal with that. I mean, if something is going on, tell me. Let's pray about it. Let's figure this thing out. But not every time I call you. So guess what? I don't call them. I just text them. The risk of broken loyalty, okay? And then the type of friendship you have, it may actually change over time, okay? So those are the pros and the cons. So we are at the end of our show. I didn't really know if we were going to have enough that we were going to share for an hour without making it a personal. I didn't want it to be personal. I wanted it to be something that we could all relate to. Us on the platform, you that are viewing it now or will review it. And let me tell you something. Friendship is something that I believe we all need. You could have a friend in your person as, let's say, if you're going to have three friends, personal, business, and spiritual. Or you can have one person that has them all. Give me one person that has them all, but then you can give me one person that is in each one of those leagues and category. Sometimes we have friends that we just can't share everything with, okay? So we have some stuff we have to keep to ourselves. That's why a lot of times it's good to have different types of friends. I used to have a friend where she moved away, and over time we kind of just grew apart. Now we still check on each other, we still call ourselves friends, but we're not as close as we used to be. Because here's something, I don't judge people, and I ask you not to judge people either. The Bible tells us to judge ye not so that you may not be judged. You know, we want to be judged by God. We don't want to be judged by people, okay? So guess what? If you need a friend, figure out what it is that you have that you can talk about online or in person, and you can get a friend out of it. There's nothing like having a friend, okay? So I'm glad to call Glenda Morris my friend. I'm glad to call Fabulous Camille Robb my friend.
Wait a minute, I thought I was your daughter.
Well,
Come on
that's
now, don't get it confused.
see how she treat
The
me.
boy, the boy said I'm their sister, so
Okay, all right, all right.
you're throwing me out. Okay,
Uh,
it's like that.
you can be my friend, you can be my daughter, you can be my confidant, you can be my companion, you can be all of the above to me.
I like it.
I like it as well. Glenda, give us some closing thoughts and we're going to get out of here.
Well, I tell you, this was my first time on the show. I enjoyed every moment of it. I think that the topic was very relevant. And I believe that whenever it's viewed, whether currently or in the future, it's going to impact lives because there were so many nuggets that were deposited here today. And I just want to say thank you. You're doing a tremendous job and will continue to impact lives one at a time.
Amen. Amen. Got any closing thoughts for us, Fabulous Camille?
So it's simple for me. I'm glad you guys came over to sit on the porch with us and talk. But always remember, God put people in our life for a season and a reason. We may never know what the reason is, but as the season come and go, God will show us where to go. So stay blessed, stay safe, and stay absolutely fabulous. And I see you guys soon.
Awesome.
Take care. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye. That was cool.